up. My car just got towed for no insurance. Ugh.
Nancy, why don't you have insurance?
It's too expensive. I couldn't pay $125 a month, and my insurance canceled me.
Why don't you call Freeway Insurance? I have the same car as you, and I pay $1 a day. You could be saving hundreds of dollars a year.
Wow, Freeway could save me a lot of money. What's their number?
800-315-3466.
Do they have an office close to me?
Freeway has local offices in the area, or they could insure you over the phone.
Give me that number again.
800-315-3466. 800-315-3466.
Freeway Insurance has rates for you as low as $1 a day. That's right, as low as $1 a day. Regardless of your driving record, Freeway could save you money and get you insured. They're that good, and they're open Saturdays for your convenience. Call now and see how much you could save. 800-315-3466. 800-315-3466. Freeway, driving savings. Some restrictions and fees may apply. Quoted price for liability premium only.
Now through March 16th, you can get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment and $22.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
Super soothing hydro massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Zero enrollment, $22.99 a month. Deal ends March 16th. See Club for details.
So what do you want to do tonight?
Let's VCR and chill.
Well, that's how things work with home selling. So we at Open Door invented a new way to sell your home. One without the hassles and hurdles of listings, showings, and unknowns. Just go to opendoor.com, enter your address, and tell us a little about your home. And Open Door will make you an offer in minutes. Sell your home the new-fashioned way. Get your free offer at opendoor.com/myoffer. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc. License 0206-1130 in California.
You mean this $750 that's in my Cash App right now?
Yes, that's $750.
Where did you get all that cash? Easy. I went to cashup22.com and claimed $750.
You claimed $750?
Yes. Just go to cashup22.com and follow the simple instructions on the site. Once you finish, the $750 is yours.
It's that easy to claim $750?
Yes. You just answer the basic questions on the site, then claim the deals they show you, and get $750 sent to your Cash App.
I'm always short on cash. I'm going to cashup22.com right now to claim my $750 Cash App.
Ready to claim your $750? Get started right now at cashup22.com. Go to cashup22.com. Just go to cashup22.com. Follow the simple instructions and claim your $750 fast and easy. Go to cashup22.com. Cashup22.com.
Sure wasn't in charge of hiring new employees, because the more unqualified candidates you have for a job, the more difficult your hiring can be. And that can make the process, well, not so merry for you. Thankfully, there's ZipRecruiter, which you can try right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology finds the right candidates for your job. But unlike other sites, ZipRecruiter goes deeper. ZipRecruiter matches people with people. And you can personally invite your top choices to apply, because the perfect hire is more than a list of qualifications. It's an individual. ZipRecruiter makes hiring the right person easy, and that'll keep you and everyone else very merry.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's right, free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Sarah. The usual?
This is the last time I'm coming here for coffee. I'm on a budget now.
1 second. Cold brew for Blake?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sarah, don't give up what you love. State Farm has policy options to get you a surprisingly great rate.
Good. I need my iced oat milk latte with caramel and cinnamon on top.
Girl, me too. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
These all charitable donations.
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I do not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
Itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A get-out-of-bedtime story. It's time to wake up from this amazing dream, even though you're jet skiing on lemonade. How extreme! And oh, look at that. You just won the lottery. Is that a castle? Take the keys. It's your property. What's better than swimming in space? Just wait for the big reveal. It's Taco Bell breakfast and it's actually real. So it's time to wake up and bid your dreams farewell. Because toasted breakfast burritos are waiting for you. Only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only.
A hero. Come on. And a villain.
You won't get away this time.
Face off in a Nissan sales event ad.
Wait, what?
Starring the Nissan Rogue.
Oh, nice.
And featuring more power than a CR-V.
See ya.
You won't want to miss any of the action at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for up to 72 months on 14 models. Availability is limited, so contact your local dealer for inventory information and shop NissanUSA.com today before these offers get away. Nissan Rogue S versus 2022 Honda CR-V base models compared for well-qualified buyers. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Must take purchase from new dealer stock. See dealer for financing details. Dealer sets actual price. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details, list of eligible models, and important safety information. Offers end 3/31/22.
You can get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment and $22.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
Super soothing hydro massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Zero enrollment, $22.99 a month. Deal ends March 16th. See Club for details.
No way, I'm not coming out.
Boy, he's really mad. What's he want?
Tell him what you want, George.
Same thing she wants.
An RV?
No.
Lap pool?
No.
New arch supports?
New flooring.
Ah, easy fix. Hey, George, you aware that S&G Carpet's having their Flooring Madness sale this month?
You're just saying that.
I'm not. You can go into any S&G showroom and half the store is up to 30% off.
Half the store?
Up to 30% off.
Including Karastan?
Including Karastan.
Wow.
Up to 30% off select carpet, waterproof core, hardwood, or laminate.
That's mad.
Hey, look, here comes one of their mobile showrooms, so S&G can save you up to 30% off today. You want anything else?
An RV.
No.
A lap pool.
No.
New arch supports.
Okay, you can get those.
During S&G Carpet's Flooring Madness sale, half the store is up to 30% off, including Karastan. Plus, as always, get their no surprise guarantee and promise to beat any written estimate by 10%.
S&G more than carpet.
Go to sgcarpet.com for the showroom nearest you or to have their mobile showroom come to you.
Don't know where to start? Generation is a nonprofit organization that provides free online training and support in web development, digital marketing, cloud, IT, and more. All at no cost to you. Yes, completely free. At the end of your training, we'll prepare you to earn free important industry credentials and help connect you to employers in your area. Find more than a job. Find a career. No tech experience necessary. Classes start soon. Apply today at usa.generation.org/training. That's usa.generation.org/training.
Hey, Becky G, can you play your next hit?
I will, as soon as it's released. But I've got another big hit for you. Did you know that with Xfinity Internet, you get fast, reliable speeds to fit your needs and budget?
Ooh, that's nice.
Even Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig to power all your devices. Best of all, you could save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill when you add Xfinity Mobile.
It's official. That's a hit.
Hey, we're on the radio. Now everyone can get the best value with Xfinity. Can your internet do that?
Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay, and 3/31/22. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Gig Internet and Xfi Gateway. Actual speeds vary. Compares optimized pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So I insist we choose Les Schwab tires for safety services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Stuff those cheap tire centers don't offer. Because I want a backseat drive with confidence. Dad, speed check.
At the Les Schwab Spring Tire Sale, save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
Up a Riches giveaway with $15,000 giveaways every Thursday and Friday until the grand finale on April 29th, where you could win a new Ram truck.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show.
Hello, my name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Charlton of Big C Sports. Coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C Sports and me. And that's what counts. And people who love sports, I want to say, Grando Deportes, bonjour de bitty bitty bitty. Welcome to the show. Today is a beautiful show. It is a beautiful March the 14th. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. You go by and test drive yours. Tell them, I need some gas money. Tell them Charlton or Big C Sports Center, as well as a fleet of Cadillac cars also all around the universe. You follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 23 podcast applications. Really do appreciate that. As long as you got enough gas money to get there. I'm telling you, some cars cost $200 to fill up right now. I don't understand it. What's going on? What is going on in this world? All fair and level war. The late, great Rodney Dangerfield gets no respect. These gas prices are crazy. People are stealing gas, siphoning gas. There are people going to car dealerships, and they're doing whatever they can to get the gasoline out of the cars that are on a showroom parking lot. Is that crazy? I'm hearing all over the news. People are actually going to car dealerships. The rumor is you walk in, they say, how can I help you? You want to test drive a car? No, where do you keep your gas? They're like, what? We don't keep gas around here. Well, how do you fill them up? Oh, we go to the gas station. But what do you do with the cars once you put gas in the car? The salesperson says, oh, the gasoline stays in the gas tank. And the guy says, so what time do you guys close? After today's show, you can follow Big C Sports all around the universe on Google, Alexa, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeart-Radio Podcast, Castbox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. And I counted to 10. I got to catch my breath. Give me some praise. Oh, man, it's so funny. You can follow Big C Sports on GeoSavon Podcast, Podtail, YouTube, Hubhopper, Stitcher Podcast, Radio Line, Repod Podcast, Luminary, Listen Notes Podcast Wise, Podbay, and Verbal Podcast, as well as number 23, all feeds.ai. Give us some praise. It's all fair level where I said to give us some praise. Really do appreciate that. You can also follow Big C Sports streaming all around the universe on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. And give smart TV some praise. Got to give it praise. Really do appreciate that. It's so crazy. I was listening to some shows on the news this morning when I got up. And California has the most expensive gas prices in the universe. That's what they're saying. That's not a good thing. Nothing to laugh about. But the rumor is you can have a gas cap on your car, and you can do whatever you got to do to make sure that people don't steal your gas. And the weird thing, I've heard law enforcement saying that people, instead of going to gas stations and having a line around the gas station, there are people having gas heist. How do you steal gasoline out of a car dealership car? Well, they may have cameras set up, but how many dealers actually have a security guard out there watching 100 cars, or sometimes 200 cars with these auto malls? They may have one person driving around, but rumor has it, the same way they used to steal catalytic converters, there are people foolishly going out trying to get gasoline out of cars by cutting the gas line, which could cause an explosion. That's dumb. When I was growing up, they would just use a water hose. Yeah, you might choke a little bit, but it didn't cause an explosion. So, I mean, how do you have a PSA for dumb people? Really? You're going to go drill a hole in the bottom of a gas tank to get the gas? That's just dumb. But people are doing it. I don't even know what the world's coming to. If you need gas, I understand we need gas, but I would just say be careful. If your gas is that important to you that you're going to take a drill and drill the bottom of the gas tank, which could cause a spark and could kill you. That just does not make any sense. It's like the themes are getting dumber and dumber and dumber. The movie Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber, comes to mind. All friend level war. But just be careful out there if you're going to be around anybody stealing gas or trying to sell you some gas out of a milk carton. Oh, man. Life is funny. I want to pay homage to my family legacy on my beautiful mother's side. My great-grandmother called her a mama. She was a wonderful grandmother, maybe the most wonderful grandmother that's ever existed in the history of the universe. Really do appreciate her. And then always keeping the family strong, lots of love. Sometimes saying, boy, go get me a switch. I told you about getting gas out of Grandpa's car. And then my great-grandfather called him Pop, former Negro League baseball player, known around his church friends as making the best moonshine in the history of the universe. And also saying, boys, how many times I got to tell you, stay out of that barn. Get out of that barn before lightning strikes. What I thought as young kids was foolish enough trying to sneak moonshine, and we give it to the dogs, and the dogs will sleep all day. You know, that's not funny. Sometimes we give it to the chicken, and the chickens, they couldn't even fly. At times we give it to the cows, and they would just lay down. Now, that was silly, but now you got people stealing, I don't mean to laugh, but stealing gas out of car dealerships. Drive around auto malls, and there's usually hundreds of cars, and you got some good old boys going around with a drill and some milk cartons. That's so stupid. But it's all over the news now. It's a crazy, crazy world. California's supposed to take one of the gas taxes away, like 50 cents a gallon gas tax. We all need somebody to lead on. I want to just say to my grandmother, oh, Lord have mercy. Called her Mud Deer. She was a seer, very beautiful, wonderful person, did everything to keep the family strong. Really do appreciate everything I learned from her to this day. And then my grandfather Hezekiah, another wonderful person, did everything he could to keep the family strong. I love my beautiful mother, the most beautiful mother in the history of the universe. Started a Head Start program, a food program, and also helped win the Little League Championship of the universe. Give Mama praise. I said give Mama some praise. A Head Start program, a food program, and to help win the Little League Championship of the universe. Really do that. I'm telling you, always stand, rise, and shine. Really do appreciate Mama. And then my father, former Air Force fighter pilot, chief mechanic, making sure the place can fly high so we can all stay safe at night. Always saying, develop your mind to its highest extent. And then my beautiful brother Todd, with his bombastic voice, oftentimes sound like thunder and lightning when Todd would speak. One of our favorite movies was Scarface, but again, we thought it was too violent, so we didn't want to use that, and we picked it up that Pulp Fiction was our favorite movie. When Vin Graves told Bruce Willis, in the boxing match, your butt goes down in the 4th round. He said, say that, Blip. I guess my butt goes down in the 4th round. He said, that stinking sensation you're feeling, that's pride. Flip it with you. And he said, fluff pride. Where did all my gas go? I just can't take it. Some good old boys, they took a drill and drilled the bottom of a gas tank at a dealership. It's so dumb. It can cause a spark and explode. I don't understand what's up with some people, but I gotta keep my focus because it's a crazy world. And then we love the movie Pulp Fiction. It's amazing. I also love to say to my beautiful daughter, Daisy, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. Daisy, very smart, beautiful, intelligent, ambitious, industrious. She actually graduated college in 3.5 years, double majors with honors. Very smart, hardworking. She actually set up the first interview that came to Big C Sports back at Salem Media. And so really do appreciate Daisy. She would also help me set up when college coaches would come to the West Coast to do work with Big C Sports. Really do appreciate her. And then also my handsome son, Malcolm, the most handsome son in the history of the universe. Intelligent, smart, industrious, hardworking, a college student. Really do appreciate Malcolm. I can always say, Wakanda forever. Never let anyone stand between you and your family. If anyone tries to them, say, flop you, man. Malcolm's very smart. Oftentimes sends me NBA stats, knows NBA stats all over it, inside and out, and really do appreciate how Malcolm is as a young man. Always rise and shine, Malcolm. Always rise and shine. And then Big C, with all of his wealth of knowledge over the years, always saying you gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Give him all praise. I love saying give everybody praise as part of Big C Sports Podcast. And what my grandfather, my great-grandfather used to say back in the day, let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. ESPY nominated Big C Sports Podcast. No scripts, no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. All I got in my ear is a little bit of earwax, and somebody tried to steal that. You gotta guard your earwax nowadays. What's the world coming to? I didn't know it would run on fuel. You can make fuel out of earwax. I had no idea. The internet's not good for everything. Anyway, I produce my show daily. It's just like the Big C cup of coffee. The best part of waking up is realize no one stole your gasoline. It's Big C in your cup. The Big C cup of coffee. It's just like with Krispy Kreme. You go by Krispy Kreme, they have the hot donuts rolling off the conveyor belt. Nobody wants a 3-day-old hot dog or a donut or a cup of coffee. It's fresh every single day. Just like Krispy Kreme doing that Big C Sports Podcast is fresh every day. Some sports shows, they loop their shows 3 or 4 times a day as if they don't want to pay people. So they'll loop a show, 1-hour show, and you'll hear that same show 2 or 3 times a day. I'm an insomniac. I don't sleep at all. So I know I've been staying up listening to those shows. They're like, didn't I just hear that? Tom Brady came back. And Big C Sports is the only sports guy in the only sports show in the universe that said that Tom Brady was not going to retire. I said he was going to play for San Francisco, and he would announce it after the draft. But he tried to play for the Niners, but they didn't want him because they're going to go with Trey Lance. But he tried to. So I was right about that. And when they said no, and he decided to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he wanted to play in San Francisco. So people that say, he had no interest, he had talked about signing with them, but they said no, they're going to go with Lance. And that's fine, all fair and love and war. But I was the only one outside of ESPN, Fox, all of them. It was only Big C Sports Podcast that said he was not retired. And I think I proved it. You can Google every show. I've been talking about that since he announced it about 40 days ago. At the same time, I tell you, I'm telling you what I love about Big C Sports Podcast. My show is like an open book. If I'm right or wrong, you know that. But I challenge anyone to find out. And they even had guys like Bob Costas and Jim Gray saying, he retired. He came on my show and said he was retired. And I told everybody, I'm one black man. I don't have a staff of 50 people calling around the country. I do things with my higher self and the knowledge that I know and like the 2 friends that I have. Me and that person in the mirror, I count them all. That's all fair and love and war, but I was right about that. I always produce the show. I direct the topics. I broadcast the shows. The sound effects are done by what the agency provides. Is really do appreciate that. We could all use more laughter in our lives, especially when people are stealing your gas. What the hot thing? I just bought this Escalade. Not only did it cost $200 to fill up, damn thing won't start. It's crazy. I understand gas is like $6 a gallon. I'm starting to think the Flintstones had it right. Some good old boys are cutting a hole in the bottom of their car using their feet to drive. That's a marketing opportunity for Nike. Just do it. Anyway, Lord have mercy. The commercials are done. The stats provided. The storytelling. As I told people at Chase Center over the weekend, Steph Curry for 3. The crowd went nuts. But he only scored 8 points. It was Klay Thompson for 3. That good old boy dropping 38 points. He was like shooting balls into the bay. He was so hot, all's fair and love and war. And then I upload the show. It goes out to 23 podcast platforms and out of New York City. And then I never missed a show since starting Big C Sports in September 12, 2015. And it goes out to 4 TV platforms also. I really do appreciate that. I grew up in the church, so I love what I heard growing up as a little boy. And I remember why a lot of my times I heard things also. In Genesis chapter 13, verse 15, it says, "For all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever." In the book of James chapter 4, verse 2 said, you have not because you ask not. If you want something, just ask and give asking some praise. Give it praise because everything in our life is based on asking. If you want something, just ask. And oftentimes I talk to people and they want to do a sports show or they want to do a sports podcast and they go, well, I'm kind of afraid to speak. I'm afraid of speaking. Well, so am I. But you just do it anyway. I mean, I'm not anymore, but I used to. I've spoken in front of 80,000 people and I've spoken in front of one person. But if you practice in the mirror, you're at least speaking in front of two people. Now, if you're afraid of your own sight, that's a shame. Don't be afraid. But even Moses, you think about Moses in the Ten Commandments. Moses was also afraid at times. If you look in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 12, Moses was afraid to speak. And he said to God, can you find somebody else? And God said, I will help you speak. And I will teach you what to say. If you want something, just ask God for favor and give God the praise. Everybody that you see on TV, on television, and radio, if you heard them on radio, sometimes those good old boys are afraid to talk also. You watch their hands when they're holding a microphone. Some guys are shaking. I remember when I met the late, great Howard Cosell at an airport. He was tall, statuesque person, and he was very shy. Very shy man. But on the air, he was always talking. He was doing his thing all the time, and he kept doing his thing until he couldn't do it anymore. I also want to say to the California Lottery, really do appreciate the California Lottery. I keep saying, and first, I don't want to make a liar of myself. A lot of things I say come true. I said, I've won that lottery. I got to stop saying I'm going to win it and start saying I won the lottery. And people say, well, that's a lie. No, the good book says, speak things that be not as though they were. I've already won the lottery, that $100 million. I know it's coming. Something's causing my backside to itch, and I just assume it's a feeling the lottery's coming. Oh, Lord have mercy. Might have to win the lotto just to get some gas. Want to thank Fantasy 5, Powerball, Mega Millions, Super Lotto. If you have any gambling issues. If some of the guys stealing gas, they say they have a gambling problem. Somebody got to buy the gas. That's crazy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Steve Mariucci, he did a PSA for the playoffs for football. And he said, if you have a problem, call 800-GAMBLER. That's 800-GAMBLER. Now he needs a PSA for stealing gas. If you're stealing gas, stop it. Before lightning strikes. That's crazy. You go out to buy a car that won't start because some good old boy stole the gas. I think that's crazy. Oh, Lord have mercy. And they say some of the guys who are stealing gas, they work for battery-powered car companies. You can't steal a battery like you do gas. Oh, I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, God said, let there be light. Open your cell phone or electronic devices and say play Big C Sports Podcast, and you'll hear our apps come up all over the world. Really do appreciate that. And thank goodness it doesn't run on gasoline. It just hurts my spirit, but I gotta laugh about it. If you also Google Forbes top sports agents, last year they created over $41.2 billion in sports contracts. And half of that money went to buying gas in California. Because gas is so expensive. Oh, Lord. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Stealing gas. Oh, Lord, I can't take it. You can also follow Big C Sports and use the sports marketing agency. I'm getting my certification to become a sports marketing agent for 2022. And the top sports marketing agency wrote over $160 million. Made over $160 million in commissions. And just signing up sports athletes to play sports, all fair and love and war. So that's something I'm getting into. Just got to get my certification, working with one of the top sports agents, Black American sports agents. Like Smokey Robinson said, he hates being called African American. He's never been to Africa. He likes being called a Black American. All fair and love and war. People do what they got to do. But I met a veteran today, and he had his veteran's hat. So I said, thank you for your service. And have you heard of the crisis hotline? He said, no, what is that? I said, it's a crisis hotline. They help veterans, family members get through crisis if they need any help. And I just showed it to him. And it says 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And if you know anybody needing help, then they can give you help. And then his wife said, do they have one for wives? A veterans crisis hotline for wives and for people who get their gas stolen. I said, I don't know, but I'll check into it. Oh, what a crazy day. It's so funny. But they will stand on their head to make sure you get help. I also want to say thank you to Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% honest game. Sports fans, when you're watching the big game, you want to eat the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with all this exotic meat. Rumor having it taste better in your mouth than it does in your hand. And I guarantee it does, because I've tried several of them myself. Really do appreciate that. The best part of the Budweiser Zero is you don't have to get inebriated to enjoy the taste. But don't, like they said, the great Billy D. Williams said, don't let the smooth taste fool you with that Colt 45 back in the day. All's fair in love and war. There's a lot of good things coming. I'm going to take some time to talk about the basketball selection committee for men's and women's side, and also some things in football. Players are signing with different teams now. But I also said that Big C Sports Podcast is the only sports show in the universe that said that Tom Brady was not going to retire. You can Google it. A lot of them are saying, well, I'm kind of shocked. If they don't have to be shocked, just listen to Big C Sports. In the words of former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator. I'll be back. All right, we're back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 23 podcast applications all over the universe. It's streaming on 4 TV applications. Really do appreciate that. I really love what's happening in the world of sports. I talked about it. Tom Brady deciding that he was going to tell you what Big C Sports had already tell you the day he walked away from the game. You think about it. He said, the past 2 months, I realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands, and that time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates. I love my supporter family, and they all make it possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa because San Francisco said no. And Big C Sports, the only one that told you that. I, in fact, follow Tom Brady. He had attended Cerro High School in San Mateo, and he was actually at the second Cal High Sports Football Combine at St. Mary's College, no longer playing football in the Bay Area, but he was there and had a meteoric rise at Michigan, and then had the 199th pick in the 2000 NFL draft. So he came back, and he's deciding now that he is going to be back in the saddle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that helps him a lot, as long as they can beef up the offensive line to help him. And the reason, if you look at some of the greats that have retired and they came out of retirement, touchdown Brett Favre did it. He said he was tired of playing football, and he went to a Super Bowl. They beat the New England Patriots, and then they lost to the Denver Broncos. And so he said he was tired of playing football. He almost went back when he played for the Vikings, and they lost to the Saints down in New Orleans throwing an interception. But they went down and got him off a tractor and brought him back to the NFL and said, you want to roll around in tractors and dirt or play NFL football? And he said, NFL football. And the same thing happened. Michael Jordan, he stepped away. He came back. He went out and tried baseball for a while. He said he couldn't hit a 95 miles per hour curveball, so he came back, starting hitting baskets. You know, players do it all the time. Even Aaron Rodgers is saying, well, I don't know if I'm going to play yet. I don't know where my mind is. And they said, how about we help you make up your mind? How about $200 million? And he said, okay, I'll play. He needs to buy gas. Half of that salary is going to buy gas. Oh, Lord have mercy. So when you think about why would Tom Brady have retired, a lot like, or I'll say unlike Ben Roethlisberger, who retired from the Steelers, he's not coming back. His arm's just not what it used to be. But Brady led the NFL in passing yards, 5,316 passing yards, 43 touchdowns. He had 485 completions, 719 attempts in 2021. And they lost at home to the Rams that ended up winning the Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles. But they only lost that by a field goal late in the game. 30-27. But if you think about it, not many people walk away when they're at the top of the mountain. It's just a lot of things in sports. Why walk away and go around and hang out with your family when they're doing their own thing? Teenagers don't want to be around their 44-year-old dad. He said enough of that crap, and he got back in the saddle and went down and signed the contract again with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for the fans of Tampa Bay, give it some praise. The Big C Sports is right. I think I'm the only one in the universe that said he was not going to retire. All fair and love and war. I want to also get into the world of the March Madness, which is amazing. But I'll get into March Madness a little bit later. I know they did it over the weekend. But I want to touch on something that I talked about. It was just last week as I normally don't preview games or talk about games after they happen. I like to get on games before they happen. But it was, when you think about what happens in NBA basketball, it was in the Bay Area that the Golden State Warriors had a chance to host the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. And as the Bucks were coming across the airport, San Francisco airport, they fly to San Francisco airport, and then they go up the highway to get to interstate, to get to the stadium, the Chase Center in San Francisco. The 101 comes from San Francisco International. And because they're from the Midwest, it's not affecting them the way it is out here. And Giannis Antetokounmpo obviously is the king of the NBA basketball universe. He was last year's NBA Finals MVP. And rumor has it, as they were driving up the 101, their tour bus ran out of gas. And they were asking people, do they have any gas? They had the game to play. That's just a joke. But sometimes in California, coming out of a grocery store, people are, selling whatever they want to sell. Some people sell roses. Some people sell candy. Some people, I approached the Girl Scouts. They were selling some Girl Scouts cookies. I said, Girl Scouts cookie? Okay, I'll support the Girl Scouts cookies. And then the little girl said, would you also like to buy some gas? I said, well, how much for the gas? She had it in a milk carton. She said $7.50. I said, $7.50 for a gallon? She said, yeah, we're trying to raise money to buy uniforms for Girl Scouts. I said, they even got Girl Scouts selling gas. I said, well, how much if you just pour it in my hand? But that's not a good thing to pour in the hand. All friend level work. But Klay Thompson, I wanted to bring it up because Klay Thompson was doing his thing over the weekend in San Francisco. He dropped 38 points against the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. He didn't run out of gas, no pun intended. But Curry ran out of gas. He had 8 points in the game. But a potential NBA Finals matchup, Golden State Warriors. I'm telling you, the crowd was rocking. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks 122-109 on Saturday at Chase Center for their third straight win to improve to 46-22. An impressive win for the Golden State Warriors. But the reason I'm picking Golden State to win the NBA championship this year, they've been knocking people off. They just knocked off Denver at Denver. Now they're knocking off the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. And when you think about no Draymond Green, no Andre Iguodala, no Gary Payton II, no Otto Porter. They had Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. Steph Curry had a bad night. If you can play this well when you're having a bad night, and you have guys that can shoot the basketball all over the universe and still hit three, that tells you they have everything they need. Their defense is tight. Their offensive prowess is good. Thompson, 38 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block shot. Giannis was 31 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block. And then Jordan Poole with Golden State. He's another 3-point shooter. That boy, that good old boy, that brother, that man dropped 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. Chris Middleton was trying to get off track, 18 points in the game. Andrew Wiggins was doing his thing, 21 points for the Golden State Warriors, and they were holding down Drew Holiday had 13 points. But it's a game that, if you think about, half of their starting lineup doesn't even play right now because they're nursing injuries. That's why I say the Golden State Warriors are going to win the NBA championship. You can talk about Philadelphia. You can talk about Miami. You can talk about Boston. You can talk about Milwaukee. But they don't have their biggest defensive stopper an attitude adjuster, and that's Draymond Green. He's the only one to kick LeBron James in the cojones and get away with it. Rumor has it he thought LeBron had siphoned his gas. Will you have multimillionaires stealing gas? What's the world coming to? All Fred Leavenworth. But I just love what's going on in sports. And so when I look at, I'm going to be a gentleman here, the NCAA college basketball selection came out, and the chance for the women to have the chance to become the national champions of the college basketball universe. They got the women doing their thing, just like the men. They have a big field of 64 teams. Just going to cover some of the things that are going on for the 2022 March Madness schedule for the NCAA women's basketball tournament, which begins. They had it selections committee on March 13th, but the first 4 games will be played Wednesday, March 16th, and Thursday, March 17th at top 16 seeds. And the second round games will be played Friday, March 18th through Monday, March 21st at top 16 teams. So when you look at the regionals, Friday, March 25th through Monday, March 28th in Connecticut, North Carolina, Washington, and Kansas, the Sweet 16 will be played March 25th and 26th, followed by the Elite 8 from March 27th to the 28th. And then the women's Final Four is at 7 and 9:30 Pacific time, actually Eastern Standard Time, on Friday, April 1st on ESPN. And the National Championship game is going to be at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday. And then April 3rd, ESPN at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So when you think about all the great teams that are out there and who has a chance to win, I love it. You have so many great games and people from all over the country that are involved in if their team's going to get a chance to cut down the nets for college basketball. And so for the women's seeds, obviously South Carolina, they got a number 1 seed for them. Baylor came up with a number 2 seed. Iowa, number 2 seed on the women's side. Louisville got a number 1 seed. And Texas also has a number 1 seed in the bracket. And you're looking at those teams that are out in the first. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so much of the women the first time they've had 64 teams. Also, if you look first round, UConn has a number 2 seed. North Carolina State has a number 1 seed. They're a very good basketball team. And I like so much of what the women are doing in their seeding. I don't have an idea who's going to come out. Stanford got a number 1 seed. They're a very fine basketball program, number 1 seed. And they have them lined up against Montana State. But there's so much when you have Stanford, Louisville, South Carolina with their number 1 seeds. And then you have a North Carolina State, also number 1 seed. So I look forward to the women being able to do their thing with a lot of fanfare that oftentimes reserved just for the men, because let's just face it, one shining moment. They've been pushing men's sports for many, many years. And so the women have a chance to do their thing and put their showcase, their talent on the grand stages. And a lot of them have a chance to do it. There's some phenomenal women's basketball programs out there. We're going to hear about Stanford, of course, and the South Carolina State, actually North Carolina State. And then Louisville strong too, but I like Stanford this year to cut down the nets. Tyra Vanderveer for the Stanford Cardinals. Just my opinion, may not happen, but it's going to be some good basketball. And I want to just say congratulations to all the women doing their thing all over the universe. All fan level war. And also, on the men's side of the things, the NCAA tournament bracket revealed that Gonzaga, again, is the number 1 overall seed. I don't think they'll cut down the nets with Mark Few. But when you have the assistant for Gonzaga down in Arizona, I think Arizona's going to cut down the nets. But Gonzaga has 7,000 students. It's a private Jesuit school in Eastern Washington. They were favored to win it all last year, so maybe they will get through and bite that bone this year, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They earned the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA's men's basketball tournament for the second straight year. And when you think about Mark Few, he's the new, I'm not going to say him Coach K, because he's won 21 years in a row the West Coast Conference. The Zags were the first team announced on the selection on Sunday as March Madness officially got underway in 2022. Arizona, Kansas, last year's defending national champion Baylor, they all earned the other 3 number 1 seeds. And I've been saying Arizona's going to win the national championship. I've been saying that for the last month now, and I'm going to stick with that. Also, some teams on the bubble: Indiana, Rutgers, Notre Dame, Wyoming, Michigan, they got in. And then when you think about it, we'll see what happens. But A&M's been playing some good basketball, too. The West region, the top seed is Gonzaga. They're playing Georgia State. Georgia State doesn't have a chance against them. Number 2 seed in the West is Duke. They're playing Cal State Fullerton. But Duke is not playing the best basketball right now. I just want to keep that in mind for people that think it's going to be a run for Gonzaga. If you look at the Western region, Texas Tech, which is a very strong program. You also have Arkansas coming in at a number 4 seed. UConn's number 5. Alabama, which nipped Gonzaga early in the year, they're number 6 seed. Duke also nipped Gonzaga early in the year. They're number 2 seed. So it's not even clear that Gonzaga will come out of the Western Conference. They have 2 teams that have already beaten them, and they know how to play them. So we'll see what happens. Boise State in at number 8. Memphis number 9. I'm not going to go down all the seeds but for time constraints, but there's a lot of good things going on in the world of college basketball. But I will say I'm so excited to see that college basketball is strong. We missed that year of COVID in 2020. We didn't even have a March Madness. Last year, to see UCLA get in the Final Four, and then Gonzaga and Baylor, and I believe it was also Houston, and Baylor ended up cutting down the nets. Now, in the East region, you have Baylor, the number 1 seed. They're taking on Norfolk State, North Carolina, playing better basketball. They're only a number 8 seed taking on Marquette. St. Mary's College, they're taking on, they're the number 5 seed. UCLA, they're taking on Akron. I still have UCLA. I had them get into the Final Four, but when I saw how they're just not the same level with Arizona, I still like UCLA being a Sweet 16 team this year. Those things happen. Texas got in as a number 6 seed. Purdue is very, very strong. They are a number 3 seed. And then University of San Francisco, where I did my very first college basketball play-by-play. They played the Pepperdine Waves back in the day. They get in as a number 10 seed, taking on Murray State. Kentucky, the Wildcats are a very good team. In fact, speaking of the Wildcats, the team that cuts down the nets may just get the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all those exotic meats. And I'm telling you, Kentucky, those good boys, they might be a problem for some people. I'm going to go to the South region, and the team that I think is going to win it all is the Arizona Wildcats. They're a phenomenal team. Number 8 is Seton Hall in the South region. And I thought Arizona should have been the West region number 1. That's just my opinion. You have Houston coming at number 5. They were solid last year. They're solid this year. Illinois got a number 4 seed. They may be a problem. Colorado State's taking on Michigan. Tennessee actually beat Arizona earlier the year down in the South, but there were some, based on the West Coast, a little bit of shenanigans going on in that game. All's fair in love and war. But Tennessee, they're a good basketball team. Ohio State's coming in number 7 seed. Villanova, number 2 seed, might be a little too high, in my opinion, to have Villanova number 2 seed. In the Midwest region, you have Kansas, where Dorothy is still looking for the Wizard of Oz. And she went to the Wizard of Oz. The Lion went to the Wizard of Oz first, and the Wizard said, "Well, Lion, what would you like to have?" And he said, "Well, I just want a heart. I love to have a heart." So the Wizard gave the Lion a heart. He got to the Tin Men, and he said, "Well, Tin Men, you're here to see the Wizard of Oz. What do you want from the Wizard of Oz?" And the Tin Men said, "I would just like to have some oil because I'm all squeaky. I can't have some oil." He said, "Okay, I'll give you some oil." And by the time it was Dorothy's turn, the Wizard of Oz said to Dorothy, "Dorothy, my precious, precious child, what do you want?" And Dorothy said, "Wizard, I just want some gas." I'm tired of walking in these fields. So the Dorothy gave Wizard, Dorothy, the Wizard gave Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz, some gasoline. People thought she was walking because she wanted to. She saw the gas prices in California all the way to Kansas before we even saw open up that pipeline. Come on, Joe Biden, President Biden. In the Midwest region, you have Kansas. Again, Dorothy got that gasoline for the Wizard of Oz. I also like Iowa. They're a strong team out of the Big Ten Conference. I'm not so sold on LSU this year. Wisconsin's a good team. USC Trojans and Miami Hurricanes, that would have been a good football matchup back in the day. I still like Auburn. I like Auburn to make it, just my opinion, I like Auburn to make it to the Final Four. I don't know if they will, because some people at Auburn University can't tell the difference between a war eagle and a tiger. It's all fair and level war. But I love March Madness. It's great for college that we all have that. The Final Four is going to pit the West Region champion against the East champion and the Midwest champion against the South. And then the tournament begins as we look around all the country and seeing these great teams. The tournament begins Tuesday night with the first four, and the full first round begins on Thursday. Game times and TV channels will be announced later. It's all fair and level war. Now, I know for people that think, well, basketball and we have NBA, we have college basketball, March Madness. It's a great sport. It's something that the youth can get into. I mean, baseball, you see why baseball came back. We have a plethora of sports going on right now. We have the women's national championship hunt for the, I guess you could call it the one shiny moment. And the men have been doing their thing, the hunt for one shiny moment. Always looking forward to it. NFL football is making this news. Tom Brady decides to come back and announce he's not going to retire on a selection Sunday just to get more attention going on for him. And there's nothing wrong with that, but a big attention seeker. He could have waited till Monday to let the college universe have their day in the sun, but he decided not to. It's all fair and level war. Tonight's NBA basketball, I love NBA basketball. It's amazing. And in fact, it's so wonderful that we have teams in that play-in game. I really like that. That's great for basketball. The talk about Kevin Durant and also Kyrie Irving doing their thing, Durant dropping 53 points against the New York Knicks, and Kyrie Irving was there, whether he's unvaccinated. There are fans who are not vaccinated. If you're coming in from New York, you don't have to be vaccinated to play in Brooklyn. But if you're in Brooklyn, you got to be vaccinated to play your own floor. When them teams coming in don't have to be vaccinated, it doesn't make any sense. But that's for the politicians to figure out. I think make it fair for everybody. That's my opinion. They've already lifted the mask mandate in California. It doesn't mean that COVID went away. It just means they're looking at herd immunity, and it's a political and it's a real thing. If it's political to you, let it be political. If it's not about politics, who cares what it's about? Just stay safe and keep your family safe. That's the best thing I can say. But I would love to see Kyrie Irving, who is a lot like Curly Neal from the Harlem Globetrotter when he's doing his thing. It's like Kyrie Irving for three, or dribbling down the paint into the basket. I mean, he's amazing. And not to be able to see him in your home stadium when other people can come in without a vaccination doesn't make any sense. Tonight's Monday, March 14th, NBA schedule, and everybody can afford gas. All these guys can afford gas, making so much money. All's fair and love and war. You have the LA Clippers at Cleveland. This is for you. At the Cleveland Cavaliers. Portland at Atlanta, down in the South. Denver's at Philadelphia. You have the Joker versus Joel Embiid. It's already on ESPN. A game I would love to see. These two big men match up. You have James Harden doing his thing. But Denver with Nikola Jokic and the Joker against the great Joel Embiid. We'll see mano a mano in that game. Both big men will like to go down and paint and see if they can dominate each other, because they're two guys that are talked about as being big men MVPs of the league. And we will see when they go mano a mano, one-on-one, which one comes out shining. It doesn't mean that the best player is going to score the most points. The best team will win. It's East Coast, or I can't say, well, East Coast versus the Denver's not really the West Coast, even though they're in the Western Conference. But we'll see what happens in that game. They're all trying to find the way to lean on somebody. Can you lean on Joel Embiid? Can you lean on the Joker? We'll see as they match up head-to-head. You have Charlotte at OKC, the Thunder. Minnesota at San Antonio. Coach Pop, the winningest coach all time in NBA basketball. Congratulations to him. Washington is at the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors are hitting their stride. Will somebody drop 40 tonight for Golden State, the Chaser, and we will see, will it be Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, or could it be Poole? Chicago at the Sacramento Kings, and the Sacramento Kings are going to officially retire the old Arcor Arena. Used to be Sleep Train Arena, I think on March 19th, and it's held graduation ceremonies. It's had car trucks, truck races, all kind of events. And, of course, the Sacramento Kings that made the playoffs 8 years in a row, that older arena. I guess it's going to be a hospital now, but they're going to say bye to that officially. And then Milwaukee Bucks, they're at the Utah Jazz. Gobert versus the Giannis Antetokounmpo, King Giannis and King Gobert. And then you have the Toronto Raptors playing better basketball now down in Southern California at the Crypto.com Arena. That tips off at 7:30. LeBron James, will he have another chance to drop 50 I'm going to give the NBA some praise for making it this far. Give them praise, as all's fair in love and war in basketball. You know, I love so much what's going on in the world of college basketball. I feel that so much is riding on can these players stay healthy and make basketball something that people want to sit down and watch. And of course it is. They've done it the right way. Major League Baseball hasn't done it as well as NBA basketball has. But I know in time they will find out. And what I love about baseball is that it's back now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be strike three, you're out. We don't know. Some players just got to get their groove back. They got to find a way to get their groove back. I love doing the baseball. The count's full. We have runners on first and third. The pitch, curveball, swung on, hit deep, right field, back to home run. Hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. All square and 11 war. I'm glad that baseball is back, and I have some thoughts about projected leaders going into the 2022 season. Everybody has their own thoughts about players, but I love this time of year. Spring training is already underway. There's so much to be looking forward to when it comes to baseball. A player that I want to just have people, at least for me, I'll keep my mind on, and a couple of players. I look at Juan Soto, maybe the best hitter in baseball. 2021 earned him his highest MVP finish yet, coming in second behind former teammate Bryce Harper. He continues along the Hall of Fame track where we've seen him on his debut. It's amazing when you think about it. Guys putting up like Barry Bonds-like production from the plate. He's a discipline at the plate. This good old boy knows what he's doing. Looking at 144 walks projected, 41 more than the next player on the list. That's Harper. Soto already ranked sixth, at least 1,900 walks before turning 24 years old. He'll be 23 for the entire 2022 season. Another 144 walks will give him 517 for his career, far more than the current leader on the list through age 23. Ted Williams had 468. I'm telling you, there's so much going on in the world of Major Baseball. Can we figure out who's going to win the World Series? We don't know yet. I know in the West, the Dodgers and the Giants will most likely battle it out again. Some people want to put in San Diego. I think the Padres have always kind of gotten there, and they puffed their chest out. But the Giants and the Dodgers, I know Buster Posey's gone from the Giants, but I still think the Giants have a very good team. They'll figure it out. But I think about it, when you think about a player, Fernando Tatis expected to flex power this year because on the heels of a season which led the National League in homers with 42, he only played 130 games out of 162. He's a power hitter. He can hit the long ball. Major League Baseball leading home run total of 44. The only players to hit at least that many homers in the season while playing shortstop are Alex Rodriguez, 2001 to 2003. Ernie Banks, 1955, 1958, and 59 season. In that territory, Tatis, he's an amazing player. Already propelled himself into an MVP caliber shortstop. When you think about how dominant he is, how he builds his body, he doesn't swing at a lot of bad pitches, and he's going to hit a lot yard down at Petco Park. You'll hear runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch swung on, hit deep, right field, back home run. Say hello to my little friends. As they say, the girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. You'll see cameras going off all over the place. As that good boy can really play the game. He loves the game of baseball, and people in San Diego, they have a real treat on their hands because he can play. And he's such a good player that people can think about, how can we get this guy out? You get him out by not pitching to him. And rumor has it he has enough money to pay for gas in San Diego. It's a shame, but people are stealing gasoline from car dealerships. I'm telling you. It's amazing. I've never seen it this bad. My grandfather owned 2 service stations in Oakland back in the 70s. And gas back then was less than $1 a gallon. It was right around, depending on what level you wanted, but between 50 cents to $1 a gallon, depending on the time of year and supply. And I never would have thought it would come to this in California. I hear some people saying back east and in the Midwest, they're only paying around $4 for gas and $3 for gas, $3.50. But out here in California, almost everywhere you go is like $5.50 for 1 gallon of gas. I mean, when I came out of, I told you, trying to buy some Girl Scout cookies, they asked me what I wanted. Macadamia, sugar cookies, chocolate cookie. And I said, I'll take one at each just to support the cause. And the girl said, excuse me, sir, would you like to buy some gas? I said, Girl Scout cookies selling gas? Something ain't right. What a kid says, wait, something, just ain't right. No, I don't want to buy gas from Girl Scouts. All friend level war. You know who can afford gas? Ali. Back in the day. There's a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? Ali would say, I need some gas. I'm pretty, I can't possibly be beat. I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. It's all fair level war. I gotta beat Joe Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Now I can afford some gas. Life's crazy. My beautiful mother always says that never evidence used for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, pick up the phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go to that garbage on their own. And as we always tell you on every Big City Sports Show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day. Please, lower the gas prices. Lower the gas prices.